Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider. As temperatures rise, so are gas prices. We'll tell you why you can expect to pay more at the pump. Plus, could vintage clothing help the environment?
The stuff that we have out here has lasted, years and years.
But first, Masters Week is in full swing. See how businesses prepared for the influx of customers. Carolina Insider starts now.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jada Kirkland. Our top story today, USC students are driving their way to Augusta this week for the Masters Tournament. The event is highly anticipated by hospitality, retail, and sports management majors who are working the event. Still, Augusta is struggling with subpar numbers of employees. Here with more on that is Carolina's insider Michael McGee over at HRSM. Michael?
Thanks, Jada. Masters Week is underway and thousands of tourists are flocking to Augusta to accommodate the spike in population. Some students are traveling there to work. However, not all restaurants and businesses are getting the help they need.
Our usual.
This sound has become very common for Beck's manager, Mackenzie Ainsworth, as she prepares for Masters Week. Customers have been calling and booking reservations to dine at Beck's to make sure they can get a table.
Preparing for Masters Week is pretty intense because people do start calling at January at the beginning of the year.
While preparation is needed for this week to succeed, so are the workers. Beck's will normally have around 9 servers a night. Waiter Alton McCurry believes that this number of servers could experience some problems.
Probably double the amount of people that we normally have, and so the staff stays the same and the people double, and we get stretched thin all week.
People travel from all across the world to attend the Masters.
Preparation for Masters Week, that is our busiest week of the year. We do have our regular restaurant. It's pretty large and we try and fill it up. We also have another dining room that we recently opened and we try to fill that for Masters Week as well.
The pay from the Masters Week is why many people choose to work it. Servers expect a check each night equal to what they would normally make in a weekend. Beck's aren't the only ones seeing an increase in revenue. For Masters Week, 200,000 tourists will travel to Augusta to experience the Masters. Roughly 4,000 homes are rented out to the people coming to the city. Augusta will make an estimated $120 million for just this week, and around 4,000 new jobs are needed to handle the spike in population. With Masters getting closer and excitement builds.
In March, we're already almost full. We have people calling and getting those spots filled to hopefully have a busy week.
The workers at Beck's are preparing for what's expected to be their busiest week of the year with no extra help. Back to you in the studio, Jada.
Thanks, Michael. Student entrepreneurs were also getting in some work right here on campus earlier this week. Vintage clothes vendors displayed their items on Davis Field, inviting shoppers to check out their finds. Students look for low prices on items like t-shirts, sweaters, and jeans. Hosting Madelyn sells vintage clothing at Hostin's shop. He said a lot of fast fashion brands often produce clothes that don't last, sometimes in unethical working conditions. But vintage clothing is better for the environment.
Being able to show a lot of the young college people as well that you don't have to always buy new stuff and you can buy older stuff and recycle it.
Many of the displays had Gamecock gear, attracting students looking for their next game day outfit. If you missed your chance, don't worry. Vendors plan to come to campus again to share their throwback pieces. Anyone who buys feminine hygiene products could soon get a tax break. A bill that would eliminate a tax on menstrual products like tampons has passed the House. Women have been urging lawmakers to reconsider menstrual products as a necessity, like groceries or medications. According to the state newspaper, the decision could cost South Carolina almost $6 million in annual revenue. If the bill passes, feminine hygiene products would join 83 types of products that are exempt from sales tax in the state. After 2 years of debate, the City of Columbia has passed new rules regarding short-term rentals like Airbnb and Vrbo. On Tuesday, the council voted to require rental operators to get annual permits on their properties. According to the state, they'll also need safety inspections and must provide at least 2 parking spaces to prevent overcrowding on streets. The rental fees would also go towards code enforcement officers to make sure operators are held accountable. The new rules are a response to concerns by the neighbors of short-term rentals about disruptions in their neighborhoods. Operators who violate the new rules would lose their permits. If you have plans to travel this summer, you should probably budget for higher gas prices. This week, OPEC announced plans to cut oil production in countries like Saudi Arabia and Russia. Less production increases the cost of oil, leading to higher gas prices in the United States, which imports some of its oil from other countries. Analysts predict that price hikes won't be as drastic as gas prices in 2022, but the average price of gas is expected to be slightly less than $4. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.